بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين وما ينطق عن الهوى وما ينطق عن الهوى إن هو إلا وحي يوحى. Because what's happened today? Today most people is complain. They are complaining. They are critical, criticizing other, rebellious towards other, creating different segment of sectarian within civilization and countries, building up their own agenda, head to head with their brotherhood and their close friends, head to head with their family, challenging their faith and belief, criticizing their paths. And why today different type of diversity, different type of opinion? Wherever you go, people bring up their own opinion. Especially those who's been at uni, studied at Oxford University and high level in Harvard University. They're just type of people who's really with sort of self-sufficiency, with so independent mind, telling the world, especially telling to people, I'm not that sort of person to accept that sort of gender and belief and ideology. My theology is completely independent. My theology is different from the rest of the world. Humankind is so arrogant. Humankind is so arrogant, some of them, not all of them. Humankind, some of them is so arrogant. They're not humbling. They not goes under the humbleness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are not enjoying the shadiness, the humbleness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are not accepting the truth and the fact. Because I picked up the bunch of information from uni, because I got some bunch of information from other sources, and the fact and matter, realistically, where's this bunch of information come from? How the universities institute has been developed? How the universities academia, faculty, all the inventive and creation disciplinary has been developed. How comes to form? How it has all been composed? Who's going to be claiming? Who's going to claim? I am the one who sourced that information, who generalized that information, who wrote a journal in such a unique way. Well, if you look to the history, all the sources passed from one to another, but they're originated from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, originated from God Almighty. Is originated from intellect, then transmitted to people through naql. We've got two type of things in theology, aql and naql. So far we've been zoomed, navigated. We've been discovered two things. One is the people. Why the people is not accepting the truth? Why the people nowadays, people not accepting the truth? shallow minding or everything, surfacing the sea without any pondering and contemplation, within looking at the sea. We're surfing at the sea without looking at the sea, what is deep down the bottom of the sea. It means we're enjoying living in the earth, enjoying a study at university, gain some knowledge, and yet we don't know where does this knowledge come from. Yet the world don't know its knowledge come from origin from the intellect. Once your mind sat, once your mind placed, settled down in a specific faculty or a media, once your mind is sat, developed, that this sort of concentration developing knowledge, and this concentration comes from intellect, and this intellect time to time from one to another is transmitted. So all the university, all the faculty, all the design and media, all the establishment, all the printing press, whatever we have, must thank in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, must thank God, because all originated from God Allah. The only separation, the only separation human being from animal is human being has got an intellect while animals don't have an intellect. But we have got a common, one thing in common, we are alive and animals alive. So the point is so far is we are reached in this matter and farther that some human being not accepting the truth, not waving their hand, not submitting their hand to the pious people, to the true people, to dedicated people, the people who is not harming the world, harming the others. They're not waving their hand. We have to work as an interface. What's interface mean? Interface means waving hand. You have to wave hand those who above you. You have to wave hand those who better than you. You have to be humble those person who's in terms of true knowledge. I mean a true knowledge, not every knowledge. A true knowledge that guide you. A true knowledge that put you in a sort of circumstances in the area, in the field where you're enjoying yourself sensibly with the enjoyment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're seeing yourself. You're measuring yourself, measuring from the birth till present, and from present till continuity, till the day you're going to die and pass away. You're going to measure yourself. Once you see yourself in the field, how are you measuring? By محاسبة النفس. In علم الأخلاق, in علم الethic, we called محاسبة النفس. حاسبوا أنفسكم أيها الناس. حاسبوا أنفسكم قبل أن يحاسبكم. أيها الناس حاسبوا أنفسكم قبل أن يحاسبكم. Friends, colleague, family, dad, granddad, child, the people how I work with, pass this message to them and say to them, حاسبوا أنفسكم. Count yourself, count your deeds. Well, when you wake up in the morning, count yourself. What you gonna count? How I'm gonna count myself? Count your deeds. How many good deeds have you done? How many good works did you produce? Or how many bad works did you produce? You don't have to be mathematic. You don't have to go to a school of math to calculate things. You don't have to calculate the fastness, the energy of airplane engine. Within the millisecond, the engine of airplane, how much energy and power produce. No, you have to calculate yourself. Come across yourself. Swipe your hand over your body. Once you swipe your hand, once you rub your hand over your body, then by that all your nonsense, all your wrongdoing will be erased. The good things about calculating yourself is going to be all your unevenness will be erased, will be brushed away, will be deleted from the system. So far we are discovered, so far we are matter, the three matter. The first matter was we must humble ourselves, submit ourselves to the trueness. Be a submissive person in real life. Be a submissive person within the fact verification. Give authority to our soul to control ourselves, to accept the dignity of others, to compromise in a way of standard, in a way of moral, in a way of purity, in a way of original, in a way of where there is not any crookedness or chaos going to be happening. And the second matter we are talking about is where's all the university's information come from? How the university has been developed. As I said, it is developed by the transmitting by naql in a theology called aql and naql. By transmitting one to another past this information, by printing press, by writing a journal, and this all focused by concentration. Human mind, one is concentrating on simple things, and that concentration developing things, developing journal, developing book, developing university, developing faculty, and academic matter. But all of them is originated from aql, intellect. Once we enjoyed that, we know it's all originated from God. We thanks Allah. As Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam, the household of Prophet Muhammad, is saying, قال الصادق عليه السلام. Bear in mind, I make a footnote here. I make a pause. I will pause this matter here. I will say a footnote as a footnote. The Persian poets say, سوی دیار عاشقان، سوی دیار عاشقان، به کربلا می روم، رو به خدا می روم. سوی دیار عاشقان، سوی دیار عاشقان، به کربلا می روم، رو به خدا می روم. This style, this voice has been originated, has been stylized from the original voice of Sadiq al-Ahangaran, the famous Irani's poet reciter and Noha reciter. This has been made. This has been come into society overwhelmed by the time where the Iraq and Iran wars taken place, to encouraging Iranian people and soldiers to attend the war. So I give this example that how it's been developed is a sort of transmitting. He sang the song, but that time, but it's been developed, passed from one to another. It's the same as developing the university. One university is generating the other university. Well, now we have got less creative people, less innovation, but lots of transmitting, lots of naql, lots of copying, copy and paste. Why less developing? Why there is lots of innovation and creativeness? Because of lack of concentration. That's why we are not accepting the dignity of other. We're not accepting, we're not humble the people who are above us, because we are lack of concentration. We are too busy with life. We are too busy with a fantasy world, with the material life. Material life taking most of the moral things from us. So in this matter, we understood now. We understood why we are not accepting others, the dignity of others. Why we are not humbling the person who is above us? Because of your arrogance. And that arrogance is produced by lack of concentration. Once you are lack of concentration, you can't really detect your shortage. You can't really detect what's wrong with you. You can't really detect your deficiency. You can't really self-accuse in yourself. You can't really reach the position of self-accusation. You really can't understand how to observe yourself and compare yourself with others, because your lack of concentration. That's why lack of concentration sometimes producing arrogancy. As Luqman al-Hakim, if you back to history, read what's the history done to human being, you will learn your lesson. You will learn and how the history is developed, how the history is reflected upon ourselves, upon our times, how the history made human as a human. As Luqman al-Hakim said to his son, علامات الغافل ثلاثة أقسام. علامات الغافل ثلاثة أقسام. الأول الغفلة، الثاني السهو، الثالث النسيان. A ghafil person, a person who is completely ignorant, a neglected person, and a sleepy person who is not awake, who has no idea, who had never a plan in the past, who don't have any plan in the present, and who have no plan in the future, because of lack of concentration. Once you be lack of concentration, that lack of concentration won't gain any knowledge, won't be beneficial. That lack of concentration won't be beneficial to capture the script, to portray in their hearts all the information, all the useful things. Obviously, this hadith, this quotes, refer to people who is not accepting other, while other is above them. Because of three things. I emphasize, I repeat again. Within the fact and the matter, we're saying three things makes the person a neglected person, an oblivious person that can renunciate everything, forget everything apart himself, after himself but not after other. Al-awwalu al-ghaflat. Al-awwalu, first and the foremost is ghaflat. Once ghaflat, a neglected matter is attacked you, strike upon you, is it destroying you unless you wake up soon. Because we've got three types of sleeping. We've got two types of sleeping position. We've got two types of sleeping. One is sleeping, you're really asleep. You really didn't go to university. You didn't have sort of an institutional, educational, academia studies, which is understandable. Because of your circumstances, your dad, your grandparents didn't send you to school. Because you have no knowledge. This one type of sleep. It was your fault. The other type of sleep is a pretend sleep. You know, most people know Islam is the true religion. Most people know the Quran is the book of guidance. Most people, especially who's done lots of research and professor, knows that Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of God. But yet, they are making themselves to be pretended to be asleep. They are that sort of people called as a pretend sleeper. Just renunciating, just oblivious, just ignoring the fact, not submitting themselves to the person who's above them in terms of faith, in terms of dignity, in terms of morality, in terms of cleansing. What's the value? Value is the people. What's the value? Value is the people who's evacuating themselves from the sin, from unknown sins. The harmless person, not harming the environment, not harming the society, not harming the country. So back to our conversation is, we understood that lack of concentration causing ignorant, and that ignorant causing that we are not submitting ourselves to others. They're not accepting others. And the second thing is how the university has been developed. It developed by transmitting, by naql, passing from one to another. And that naql originated from intellect. Whereas the intellect is taken, is gifted by God to humankind. And then we evaluate it by that. So if you've got so much concentration, if you can observe well, then by that time you will understand, you will know very well yourself, others, and how to connect and how to establish a unique relationship between yourself and the society. You will be classed as a good social person. Socialism. Within the school of socialism, you will learn the respect that to deserve and the respect others is expected from you. Now let's emphasize our topic. Let's emphasize our conversation, our matter, by supporting and bringing the quote of Luqman al-Hakim. He was a very wise man. He said to his son, Salasatu aqsam alamatul ghafil. Alamatul ghafil is salasatu aqsam. Al-awwalu al-ghafla, a person who is neglecting things. We thought the neglect produced by lack of concentration, and lack of concentration producing ignorance. So remember, neglect produced by lack of concentration, and lack of concentration producing ignorance. As-sani as-sahu. Sahu, what does it mean? Sahu. The people who keep making a mistake. Mistaken. One thing about Prophet Muhammad and his household, they are never made a mistake. Never ever. They were infallible. Prophet Muhammad and his household was masum, was pure from all the sin, pure from all detestable. Pure, even they were pure from the imagination of the sin. They are never ever imagine the sin. Well, most of the people now imagine the sin, but they are not committing the sin. Imagining the sin is not a sin, but committing the sin is classed as sin. Saho. Where nowadays we say mankind is born to be mistaken. Mankind is not evacuated from mistaken. Mankind always make a mistake, more or less. Yes, but they are. But once you be lack of concentration, you will make mistake more. Once you be ignorant, you mistake more. Once not accepting and not respecting yourself and others, you will make a mistake more. Because we have got two types of mistake. One's intentionally or one's unintentionally. Once you, example, you're writing a dissertation or essay. You're planning, you're brain minding, you storm your brain, what you're gonna write, you're planning. And then you're gonna write it, finishing your dissertation, 5,000 words. Once you're reading again, second time reading again, keep overviewing, keep reading over and over and over again. But still, you're reading it for 10 times. Oh, look, I made some mistake here. Something has been missed. Why it has been missed something in your dissertation? Because of lack of concentration. Exactly that sort of thing happens in our daily life. Once we are lack of concentration towards our responsibility, towards the environment, to all the world we live in, then that sort of lack of concentration creating ignorance. Once we've been ignorant, we're not accepting others. And the third things, al-awwalu al-ghaflat, as-sani as-sahu, an-nisyan. We keep forgetting things. We are keep forgetting things. We're remembering this world. We're concentrating in this world. As a Muslim, we are forgetting the hereafter. We like the woman of this world, but forgetting the Hurul Ain. But forgetting the Hurul Ain of hereafter. We like the tower of this world, the luxury, the apartment, the beautiful house of this world, but forgetting the house and the kursi and the heavenly pulpit of the hereafter. We're enjoying the fruit of this world, but forgetting the tree of the Zaqqum and the tree of the Tuba. Zaqqum is a tree for a wrong people, for a sinful people. A Tuba is a tree for a good people, for a pious people. Tuba and Zaqqum. Where is that branch of the tree? If you be a good person, that branch of Tuba will be in your house. If you be a bad person, that branch of Zaqqum will be in your house. So to conclude this matter, we say we must accept others. If someone is above us, truly above us, how people, and the question is, who is above us? The people who is evacuated from sin, the people who maintain and obtain the moral standard. We must respect them. The second topic we discovered we talked about it, is the university, how the university's faculty developed by transmitting. And that all transmitting originated from intellect, where the intellect comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhana rabbika wa rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Thanks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me health, safety, and enjoyment and pleasure to serve my life in His way.